This week, I want to talk to you about what a lot of people are talking to me about. It's about the giant gap between where you are and where you thought you would be by now, and why yelling, I can do it from the bus driver's seat isn't actually a strategy. I'm Diane Armitage. Welcome to Catalyst Code Business Wealth. The biggest shifts in business don't come from trying harder, they come from letting a different idea in, from seeing what's already there differently. In these short episodes, I'll show you where revenue is being missed, hidden opportunities, and overlooked assets already sitting inside your business. And they're usually in plain sight. Because when you see it, you can move it. So let's get into it. Do you remember Speed, the movie from 1994, when Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock were in the beginning stages of their mega careers? She, Annie Porter, ends up on a bus wired with a bomb. The show-offy bomb maker, Dennis Hopper, who always seemed a little crazy to me anyway, he rigs it so that the bus can't go below 50 miles per hour or it'll blow. Keanu Reeves, he's the cop, Jack Taven, who's dealt with this bomb maker before, and he's actually called into solving the bus solution by the bomb guy, who has a really big grudge against him. And in the process of helping Annie, who's now taking over duty to drive the bus on her revoked driver's license, Jack and every police force in the LA Valley works on hurtling the bus through LA congested traffic, making sure it doesn't fall below 50 miles per hour. And that really is the bigger nail biter than the bomb itself, if you know LA traffic. But probably my most favorite scene in the movie isn't actually about the bomb. The runaway bus has survived one disaster after another, batting LA commuters to the side like King Kong with his helicopters. And it and all its passengers finally get redirected on what appears to be a clear, open freeway, a new freeway. Everyone relaxes a little bit. The danger seems a little bit over because now at least they can focus on solving the bomb problem. The path seems open until Helen, one of the passengers on the bus, sees that the highway is still under construction. Several hundred yards ahead, it simply ends in the middle of air. So here they are in the middle of this project, shall we say, and they think they're sailing along, at least for a while, and then the entire road threatens to drop out from under them. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's where a lot of people find themselves right now. We just passed the summer solstice. Half the year is gone. That is your road, my friend. And at the beginning of this year, you told yourself, this is the highway I'm going to be traveling on. It's going to take me somewhere new, where nothing will blow up and my life will change remarkably and quite soundly for the better. Great. And you start your project, whatever that is. Or maybe you intended to start your project way back in January, 6 months ago. Maybe it's a book. Maybe it's a business. Maybe it's finally getting your license or certification in that thing you really want to do to help people. Maybe it's a career change. It's a project that's been sitting on your desktop, in your notebook, or bouncing around in your head since January. And I know some of you out there, it might have been lounging or bouncing in said head since January 1994. Now, you may blame it on motivation or discipline or the economy or being too busy or someone else blocking your way. But the truth is this: you're now hurtling down the calendar into July, and all you see ahead is a big old gap between where you are and where you swore you would be by now. Now, in 6 months. And you frankly don't know how to bridge that gap. That next section of there actually looks like air. I can help. I am the stunt team that knows how to architect your way to the other side. I've done it for hundreds of clients in 100 industries and hundreds of businesses or wannabe businesses. I build structures. I build frameworks. I help you fill in the missing sections of highway for the very specific bus that you are. Because here's the thing most people miss. The leap actually isn't the hardest part. The unique architecture that makes the leap possible is. What fascinated me when I started reading about how they actually pulled that scene off in the movie Speed, it wasn't necessarily about the bus, though apparently they only had one to work with, so they had to get this right. It was the amount of architecture required behind the scenes to make that leap possible. The audience sees a miracle. The people behind the scenes see engineering. And that's why generic solutions rarely work. You're not driving someone else's bus, you're driving yours with your goal, your obstacles, your opportunities, all those passengers you've got on board in your mind, in your head, the ones that keep bleating at you and whining, wondering when they can get off this ride. And this is your particular section of missing highway. I've spent my career building those missing sections in wildly different worlds. Sometimes that meant turning 10 words scrawled on a cocktail napkin, in purple ink no less, into a 12-module educational program. Sometimes it meant creating a crazy, unique membership experience for a luxury winery. Sometimes it meant helping a restaurant or a high-end resort discover revenue opportunities that had been sitting in plain sight for years. Different buses, different highways, same stunt team. My job has never been to tell people what to do. I mean, I could have told all of those clients how to do whatever solution it was, but if you haven't seen the solution yet, if you haven't engineered it in the past, how are you going to know how to mousetrap it all together now? I mean, if you did, you'd have made that leap over the gap by now. My job is to help you see what you're not seeing, build what hasn't yet been built, and create the structure that allows you to finally move forward with confidence, or speed forward with confidence, I should say, because December is coming, whether you're ready for it or not. 2027 is 6 months away. The calendar doesn't care. It will barrel forward exactly the same way this bus is hurtling toward the end of that unfinished highway. And 6 months from now, I don't want you sitting there staring at the exact same gap with perhaps terror on your face, the gap you've been staring at for the last 6 months, wondering how to take the leap or why you haven't taken the leap. The good news, you've already got the destination and you've already got the bus. That would be you. You just need somebody to help you either build the missing section of road or launch you past it entirely. If that's where you find yourself right now, pay attention, because I think it's high time we got this project rolling at the speed it deserves. Now, this is something I only offer twice a year. Over the next few days, I'm going to open a handful of spots for people who already know what their unfinished highway is. I will personally help you identify what's missing, build the next section of road, and create the architecture that finally gets you moving on the other side of the gap. Watch for details this week at DianeArmitageBlog.com. Tell me what you're trying to build. Tell me where the highway ends. And let me engineer the leap. Because, trust me, even Keanu had a stunt team.